You got your notes?
Yep.
Okay, then. Welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Guild with me, Chris Mayer-Holtman, and my podcast partner, Nick Anderson.
Woohoo!
We are not in the same room or office or whatever you want to call it today, because I am home with a sick child, and Nick is probably at home in his PJs still.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that was it.
That was it's pretty much. How did you know?
just how it is. We're going to talk about Impact for January 18th today. We're also going to talk about Barbed Wire Massacre, that I guess is part of Impact still. I mean, it was part of it, but they just didn't air it on TV because it was deemed too violent for TV. Yeah. So, how did you like this edition of Impact?
I mean, overall, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm pretty happy, but at the same time, I think there was too much talking this time. I mean, like you always say, like it's okay with talking for the storylines and whatnot, but like in the end, I think it was a bit too much.
I tend to agree. Today was definitely too much talking. Not so much talking. It was just like there were so many very long promos or vignettes. I mean, the vignettes between like OVE and LAX was just so long, and they could have put something else in there. I guess I'm sure that they have like explosion matches or something like that taped that they could have put in instead.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I'm thinking that they probably did this because from the beginning they had taped the whole show, and Barbed Wire Massacre was supposed to be part of the show. And then they probably had to take it out.
Because they can't show it.
Yeah. So then you have like, because the Barbed Wire Massacre, what was it, like almost 20 minutes long?
Yeah.
So you have 20 minutes that you have to fill, and when your show is basically an hour and 30, 40 minutes, that's a lot of space to fill.
That has to be it, because there was a lot of talking, a lot of vignettes, and that most probably was fillers for the Barbed Wire Massacre.
Yeah.
Has to be.
That being said, I did also enjoy the show. So let's get into it. We start with a cold open, and it's the X Division Championship that's on the line. Ishimori versus Desmond Xavier. How did you like this?
I mean, these two wrestlers, this is just awesome. I mean, it's another great match from, both Desmond and Ishimori. I mean, there were so many cool moves, from both of them, and both did perfect. I mean, according to me. But, I mean, at the same time, you have Desmond getting a bit tired in the end, and that led to Ishimori getting the upper hand.
Yeah. I thought, they did so many good back and forth. I was thinking, like, is Xavier going to actually pull this one off here? Because, we're coming to the end of the tapings in Canada, which means that we're also going into kind of like the new regime soon. I think maybe like I don't know. There might be another week of Canada tapings. I don't know. I mean, another like week of stuff that was taped in Canada, and then the week after that. That's what I heard. Somebody was saying that. I don't know. But
then we're gonna head back to the normal stuff.
The Impact Zone, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was almost thinking like maybe they don't know what the future is with Ishimori. Maybe they don't know if the work together with Pro Wrestling Noah and AAA or Crash if that's going to continue. So they might have to drop. He might have to drop the title to Xavier to secure that he doesn't disappear back to Japan still champion.
because he can't. I mean, he can't be carrying the championship then. Then he has to, let it go.
Yeah. So I thought that there was actually like a real chance, and especially when Esmond Xavier hit the first flash, his finishing maneuver, but he didn't get the pin.
Mhm.
So
he still,
But I thought this was a 4-star match, definitely really good. And Ishimori wins with a 450 splash in the end. I think this is what the X Division really needs to be. High octane, quick.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be quick, and like some different moves were very, very interesting to see as well. This is a match I would really, 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 really like to see again.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we had this long vignette between like OVE. Well, actually, first we had the promo from OVE where they were talking about taking no prisoner. They had the GoPro or whatever, or if they were taping themselves with their phone or whatever.
Yeah.
They talk about it was all about the feud and everything like that.
Mhm.
So that was interesting. Then we had American Top Team versus Impact, another recap, kind of we know all about. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then we had the first. Well, we didn't have a Pluto TV rewind.
Oh shit!
But we had the GWN recap: Eddie Edwards versus Aaron Rex for the Grand Championship, the first Grand Championship final, because they had a tournament, the Grand Championship tournament.
Oh.
And this was the finals. So it was Eddie Edwards versus Aaron Rex. The former Damien Sandow in the WWE. How did you like this?
I mean, I feel like these 1, 2, 3 rounds, I really like that. And I think Eddie did really good, both in the first one and the third one. And, both of them got 1 point, and the third one is going to, be the final one, who's going to win. I don't know, the third round, I think both of them did really good. So I don't know if really Aaron really deserved that title. I mean, if he to be winning in that, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I thought. I mean, I remember. I mean, I remember this from when I saw it. I mean, and I thought that it was because from the beginning it was supposed to be Drew Galloway that was in the finals, and he had gotten injured, so he was kind of out of it. No, I thought. I mean, Aaron Rex was a good champion, and I kind of miss Aaron Rex. I think he was a good character. I don't know what they would do with him now. I don't know. Do you remember Aaron Rex? Was he in Impact when you started watching it?
I did. When I started watching, I didn't even know the names. So.
But I mean, he would come to the ring in like a big fur coat and big rings on his finger, and had like a little bit of like makeup on, and then he had Rockstar Spud was dressed in like a silver like police uniform and would sing his name. He would say like the man whose name cannot be spoken, it can only be sung. That doesn't ring a bell?
Sadly, it doesn't.
No, okay, so
what a shame.
It's a shame, yes. Definite shame. Anyway, this was I mean I like this. It was a good recap. EC3 versus Matt Sydal promo. Not much to be said about that. We know the story there too.
Yeah.
Gail Kim title promo, Knockouts Championship tournament promo came afterwards. As we said, there was a lot of vignettes and stuff like that. Lots of promos going on.
Yeah.
And then an interview with Ali. What did Ali say?
No, but then we have Ali, and it was more of a recap because you had Gail Kim talking to Ali. It's your time to shine, and then that's really the transformation from she going from being unsecure to actually being a good ass wrestler.
Yeah. There was an interview with Mackenzie Mitchell interviewing Ali, and she said that she was ready to win the title, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Congo Kong with Jimmy Jacobs versus Chandler Park with Joseph Park. How did you like this match?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just, it's supposed to be funny in that. I mean, you have Congo Kong, a freaking tank, versus this Chandler who doesn't even know how to defend himself. But I mean, I think he did quite well. He tried to defend himself at least. I mean, A for effort, maybe.
Yeah. I think E for effort. I don't think he gets an A for effort.
Shit.
Anyway, Congo Kong actually wins with a pile driver this time, not the normal big splash from the top. Yeah, Congo Kong obviously wins, takes Chandler to town, and that's basically all she wrote. So we'll see what happens where Chandler Park goes from here. You know what they're going to do with this character, Chandler Park. Because now, I mean, it would have been one thing if he kind of like defeated jobbers the whole time just by luck.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Congo.
I mean, could they possibly like beef him up and then like face him against some like Congo Kong again, or?
I mean, I guess what they could do is like that. And I don't know if this is what they do, but I mean, it could be like that Congo Kong takes him out and carries him off, and then like Jimmy Jacobs trains him to become some kind of monster. I don't know. That could be a storyline. That might be interesting. And then that he has to face Abyss or something like that once Abyss is cleared to wrestle, but I don't know. And because I mean, you can't win. There was no way he was going to win over Congo Kong. There was no way. So we'll see. Then we had a three-way from VCW in Detroit, Detroit Rock City. It was Eli Drake versus Alberto El Patron versus Johnny Impact in a three-way. And what, I don't know. Can I just say, what the hell was the deal with the ropes?
Oh yeah, they were a bit sloppy.
A bit sloppy.
They were. I don't know.
It was like spaghetti.
Well, that's gonna. I don't know. Well, I saw it when they were shooting a shot from the side. So yeah, there were something with the ropes. I don't know.
They needed to tighten that shit up.
Spaghetti.
I mean, they were.
But what did you think about the match?
I mean, the match in itself was good, but I mean, it was just like it got kind of weird because, like, Alberto El Patron was supposed to do that double stomp on Eli Drake. Drake was supposed to like hang on the ropes, but you can see that he was like struggling to kind of keep himself up on the ropes because there was like nothing to hold on to. It was weird. It was really weird. I thought it was a fun match, and then in the end, I don't know what you thought about the ref.
Yeah, well, you had the ref going in and out all the time.
Yeah, well, he was yelling at them, and they all kicked him in the face at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. But at the same time, you can't do that because that's a ref. No disqualification. I mean, I don't know. It's wrestling.
It was chaos, and they couldn't do much because I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, this is obviously it was a three-way match, and they needed to do stuff. They needed to fight, but you couldn't really have anybody pinning anybody else because that would kind of end the part of the storyline. So
true.
I mean, just kind of like the same with El Patron and Eli Drake. When they were at WrestlePro, I mean, they threw it out, and everybody came out and fought. And that was a good time.
That was a good time.
Yes.
True.
So next, Rosemary versus Casey Spinelli. Well, not much to say. I mean, Casey Spinelli she does well. She's a good wrestler.
I mean, yeah, sure, she does well, but you can't beat Rosemary. I mean, come on, who are you?
No, I think we knew that Rosemary was going to win. I don't think that was ever. That was never an issue or a thought, that was not going to happen. But Yeah, Rosemary wins with the red wedding. She cuts a promo, says that she respects Laura Van Ness, but she's going to come for the title, no matter if it's Allie or Laurel that wins it.
Little bunny.
Yes, the little bunny. I don't know where that comes from, because that's just something that they started talking. I don't know where that actually started, the bunny part. They just started saying it. I don't know.
It's because you're Cherry Bomb. She's like a little wrestler.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Yeah, well, we pretty much end the whole thing with some promotions, some promos, and the one I really got stuck to and I really liked was this one with Conan finding out, that that OVE has been in their clubhouse. And
No. What happened to Rosemary? That wasn't the end of the segment.
Rosemary? Well, we have yeah, I forgot about that segment. Before the whole match, well, the match had ended and all that, but then we have some random ass female coming out and hitting Rosemary.
Yes, that was Hania, or something like that. Hania the Huntress.
The commentators.
Yeah, I think they were calling her Hania the Huntress or Hania the She-Wolf or something like that. Is what they use, and she attacked Rosemary and took her out. Although, what has also come out lately is that she's not in Impact anymore, because she was let go during the last tapings because she refused to listen to she refused to lose like a match. A squash match, and she refused to listen to Gail Kim, who is now like kind of the agent for the women, the one who like sets up the matches and stuff like that. So she was let go. But I'm guessing so. But I'm thinking there's going to be like a feud between. We're going to see Hania in the coming weeks, but she's not in the company anymore.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean,
what did you think?
There was. I think like after the match, they were like fighting in that, not in the ring, but just outside. I think that was really good, and it was really brutal. So, I'm satisfied.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, next we had another long vignette for the Barbed Wire Massacre. Also a vignette for Genesis, which is going to be the next week. We're going to have Genesis. Genesis used to be the first pay-per-view of the year when you had a pay-per-view every year, or I mean every month. We don't have that anymore. So Genesis used to be the first pay-per-view of the year. Now it's just like a special event. But it's going to be, and I think that's probably going to be the end of the tapings, like Genesis. That's what everything led up to.
Oh, like a final bit.
Yes. And then the show was over.
I mean, pretty much. Like I said, we had that Conan finding out, the OV been trashing the clubhouse.
Yeah.
We also saw like that scene from like a couple of weeks. Like there was this. Where they were outside and you have Sami Callihan talking to Conan, and like all those segments, but we've already seen that, so I don't know.
But the show was over, and we had to switch over to Twitch to see it, and obviously we're not in a place where you can see Twitch like right away. We can't see it as it airs. We had to wait. And for a while there, I had a difficult time finding the stream, and because they hadn't uploaded the video, so you couldn't see. But I did get a chance to see it a couple of days during the weekend, where they had uploaded it to Twitch. But that was also available on YouTube.
Yeah, that was great. Good job from Impact, because it's easy to find and everything. So that was awesome.
How did you like the Barbed Wire Massacre? I mean, remember when we saw Abyss versus Sabu in the first Barbed Wire Massacre, it was a completely different time. Different things. It was the kind of rules were a little bit looser.
Yeah,
they could do a little bit of whatever they wanted. how did you like this?
I mean, when you say Barbed Wire Massacre, I'm expecting some blood. I am expecting a little bit, it should be a bit more brutal from what I've seen, but at the same time, the moves were good. You had a lot of tables being jumped on and people being thrown on. You have like wooden sticks that stick to people's heads. So nevertheless, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied though. It was a good match.
Yes, and it was a good kind of like, I don't know if this is going to end the feud between LAX and OVE, or if this is just another step in it. But I mean, LAX did win in the end. But I mean, yeah, it could have been more. There was like really no blood, and I think a lot of people complained about that there was no blood in the ring, and people weren't bleeding. Although we didn't get to see what it looked like in Christ's head after he got like a bunch of skewers shoved in them.
Because I mean, really, this show could have been shown on TV if that last segment with the sticks in his head wouldn't been there. I think there wouldn't have been a problem.
I think in a way that this was a way to get people to pay attention to Twitch. That this had been launched, the Twitch had been launched, and it made like let's do this Barbed Wire Massacre on Twitch exclusively, and say that Pop TV won't show it or something like that. I don't know. There's different. I mean, you can think of it different ways. I thought that it was fun. They ended up in the barbed wire. The barbed wire didn't hold, obviously. Also, I think wrestlers in general, are a little more careful. They don't want to do all that crazy stuff anymore. They want to live a long and healthy life.
Which is understandable, totally. I mean, I respect that. I mean, sure.
But I would have liked to see a little bit more blood. I mean, for crying out loud. Jake Christ or Dave Christ or whatever the blonde guy is, he was wearing white. And I figured that he'd be bleeding everywhere on that white stuff. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, so you could see him more. Yeah.
But apparently that didn't happen.
Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking, barbed wire, they're going to cut themselves, they're going to bleed, but they were just screaming and nothing really happened. So I don't know. It was good though. However,
yeah, it was good. It was good. I mean, they wrapped the dude in. I mean, they wrapped him in barbed wire and then just threw him through a table.
Yeah, that you had to cut your something, or it was made out of rubber. I'm not sure. But at the same time, I'm like, it's called Barbed Wire Massacre. Come on, and it's only one match. We're not telling them to, bleed every single Impact episode. It's just this exclusive stuff.
You just wanted some blood. You just wanted some massacre.
Yeah, a bit. I'm not saying they should cut themselves in the arm and like make it bleed like a waterfall, but something.
Anyway, so what would you rate this Impact with Barbed Wire Massacre?
I'd say a B, because the matches weren't bad and the Barbed Wire Massacre was good.
I would probably say like a B minus, just because I did think that the show in itself moved slower. Ishimori Xavier match was good. Barbed Wire Massacre was fun. I mean, even the three-way between Drake, Patron, and Impact was fun, but it wasn't enough to elevate the show to anything higher than a B minus. I thought.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's it for this week. Actually, we were talking about returning on Thursday to review one night only Oklahoma Collision.
Yep.
So
Extra episode.
Yeah, so follow us all on the social media outlets, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Nick Anderson, my name is Chris Mary Holtman, and we will talk to you later.
Peace.